Operation Snip Snip was a law in Singapore back in the 1960s that banned long hair. Look at this. Basically, if you look like any member of the Beatles, you're banned from Singapore. Long hair is hair falling across the forehead and touching the eyebrow. Oh no. Oh no, I'm banned from Singapore! I'm kicked out. In the 1960s, Lee Kuan Yew basically wanted everybody to look like a finance bro. This is like my secondary school rules, but applied on a national level, man. I can only imagine Lee Kuan Yew when he decided to implement this. My fellow Singaporeans, we are currently facing an Avengers-level threat. These young delinquents have no rights to have long hair. We must rule them with an iron fist while I am still vigorous and able to campaign. That's my impression of Lee Kuan Yew, godfather of Singapore. I love you, Lee Kuan Yew. Please don't rise up from the dead and exile me from Singapore. I actually respect you a lot and love you. Daddy Lee. In the late 1960s, anti-long hair campaign was launched by the government of Singapore in a bid to slow down the influence of the hippie culture, which was deemed to be detrimental to the stability of society. I can understand why he was against it because, I mean, Singapore or Lee Kuan Yew was very anti-drug, right? I mean, we are still extremely anti-drug. But to take such extreme measures, I'm not so sure about that. But, you know, he probably knew what was best for Singapore back then. I sound like a member of the PAP right now. Damn it. But you know, he was probably afraid that the whole counterculture movement would blow Singapore back to the opium den days. Imagine if Lawrence Wong were to enforce this rule today. The whole nation would fucking revolt. I would probably get exiled from Singapore. I would probably be banned from Singapore because of my mullet last month. Bye, Sushii. Get out of Singapore, you're exiled. Action taken against 348 government workers. 3 sacked and 20 fined last year. Holy shit, it was actually that serious. It was actually implemented in the 1960s. I'm guessing this is an early newspaper header. Several high-profile performers include Led Zeppelin and Japanese entertainer Kitaro. No, my boy Kitaro, not my boy Kitaro. Most of you Gen Zs watching this probably don't know who Kitaro is, but he's honestly one of my favorite artists, performers, and he's known for his super long hair and his extreme passion when banging the drums during his performances. Damn, imagine Kitaro with her short, slick back hair, shaved sides. They banned Kitaro. Japanese entertainer Kitaro were forced to cancel their performance in Singapore as they refused to get a snip snip. Yeah, no shit. Kitaro without his long hair is not Kitaro. He's just Kit. He's Kit. Kitaro with short hair is just Kit. Wow, yeah, I think we forget how authoritarian Singapore was back then, huh? We are definitely more lax now, for sure. Yeah, it's interesting to see. Government to bosses don't employ the long hair. The campaign came to a stop in the late 1980s with the gradual acceptance of long-haired men at workplaces and government offices. It is worth noting that similar trends were found in other cities like KL, Seoul, and Melbourne. So it wasn't only Singapore. However, the ban on long hair mostly applied to male students while Singapore had enforced it on all males. I mean, this still applies in Singapore. I'm sure we still don't allow long hairs. Wait, do we? Do we? Any Gen Zs or Gen Alpha? Are you allowed to have long hair in your secondary or primary school now? I don't think so, right? I don't think so. I know during my time it was super strict. Like our discipline master would have a ruler and check if it touches our eyebrows or not. And if it does, we would be sent back home. We would be stopped at our school gate and sent back home to cut our hair, which was kind of good because we can miss the first few periods of class because we had to go get our hair cut.